Now, we can't do this without you. You've really gotten Barack this far. The turnout in Iowa among young people is just absolutely spectacular. And the turnout overall was twice what it was the year that I ran, and that was a fairly good-sized year. So that has been done by you. And you got to do it again, because this is for everything. We need you to knock on 40 doors 4 times between now and the election and get 2 other people to do the same thing. And since this is the College of Democrats, we'd like you to get 5 other people to do the same thing. I'm not kidding. Now, This will, in fact, determine whether you win the election. And by the way, I said you win the election. I mean you win the election. This is not Barack Obama's election or my election. This is your election. This is for you. This is for our country. This is not about Barack Obama, and it's not really about Democrats or Republicans. Barack says often, and I think he's absolutely right, that it's more important to be a great American than it is to be a great Democrat or a great Republican. So partisan as this organization is, this is about our country. This isn't just about Barack or John McCain. This is about something that's more important than the individuals that are running. If you want democracy to work, you've got to put something into it. And checks are great, and we'll take some of those. But what we really care about is the interpersonal contact. When I took over the DNC, we started doing everything a lot differently. And one of the things we did is we invested a lot of money in the governor's race in Virginia in 2005. And the reason we did it is, of course, we liked Tim Kaine, and we wanted to have a governor, Democratic governor of Virginia. But we wanted to learn from the voters of the state of Virginia, Commonwealth of Virginia, how you can win in a state which is exactly the kind of state that Democrats have to win again in order to be a successful national party. So we divided this control group up into 6 groups. One got a lot of robocalls, and the other got folks your age knocking on doors in the last 3 weeks, and another group got targeted mail in their mailbox and so forth and so on. And all of that raised the turnout between 1 and 2.5%. Now, 1 and 2.5% is a big number. We're going to win in Colorado and Virginia by about 1 or 2.5%. It'll be close. It'll be close. But there was one group where the turnout was 12% increase, 6 times more effective. And that was the group where folks actually interacted with people at their doors 4 times. We actually did it 3 times. We did 25 doors 3 times, but Oregon has since decided they're going to do 40 doors 4 times, and who wants to be left behind, right? Which is better, your state or Oregon, right? Okay, so 40 doors 4 times. With really connecting with these voters. This isn't about knocking on the door and saying we're Democrats and we want you to vote for Barack Obama. This is really showing them that we're reknitting this country together after 30 years of really ugly, divisive politics that are based on fear and pointing the finger at different groups and making people mad at them in order to get them out to vote against that group instead of for a candidate. And what Barack Obama believes that you ought to vote for Barack Obama and not against John McCain. That's what we believe in. And so we need you to make that personal connection. The truth is, as I used to say in 2004, you really do have the power. You have more power than Bill O'Reilly and Rush Limbaugh and all those people on right-wing radio with the people that you know. So in your own neighborhoods you can do this, or if you can do it, if you can organize folks and just get to know people when you go to their doors, then you begin to develop a relationship with them, and that relationship is what changes votes. It's ironic in the internet age that we're going back to personal relationships. But as many of you know who are so facile with the internet, it is a real rush when you actually get to meet someone in person after you've been communicating with them over the web for a long time. Well, that's what this is about. It's that rush. It's that personal connection that you have with people as a result of just showing that you care and repeating that personal connection. That is what ultimately builds loyalty. And the loyalty is not just so much to the candidate or the party, it's to each other. That's what we're trying to build in this country, is loyalty to each other again. Let me just say how great it is that you're here in Denver. I hope that many of you who even don't have credentials are going to stick around, because there's going to be an awful lot of stuff going on. And this city is going to be flooded with young people from all over America. And we need you to be the folks that coordinate all that at CDA. And then, most importantly, go back to your college campuses, which, if they haven't started already, are going to start in the next week or so, and do this on the college campuses. College campuses are going to be critical to our ability to win. Registering people to vote, getting out the vote, and early voting is critical. You can't wait in line for 6 hours if you have voted absentee. That is critical. If you suddenly find you have an exam on Election Day and you can't vote, you've already you've already voted because you've voted absentee. If you're working and your boss says, I need you to run a double shift this day, you suddenly don't have to give up voting if you have voted ahead of time. And you don't have to just vote absentee. You can actually go down to the city clerk's or the town clerk's office in most places and cast your ballot. And we need you to do that, and we need you to encourage other people to do that too. Let me close by talking about the change in America that's going to happen if you do this. This is your candidate. This is a candidate who's 47 years old, but he understands the world the way you understand the world. This is a generational change that we're about to make in America. It's very much like the election in 1960 between John F. Kennedy and Richard Nixon, where Richard Nixon was the candidate of the past and John F. Kennedy was the candidate of the future. We need a future badly in America. And we've talked about the war and health care and the economy, and all these things are very, very important. And they're critical to a lot of Americans who are really struggling right now. But the two big things that I think that President Obama will do is the first, heal America, to begin to bring us together again. And the second is to restore the moral authority of the United States elsewhere in the world. I was never more proud of Barack Obama when he went to Europe and got 200,000 Europeans to wave the American flag again. That would